Hello, everyone, and welcome to another podcast for Supplier T News. I am your podcast host, Jaymie White, and I have with me my podcast partner, Ray Hayes. So, Ray, thanks for joining us, or joining me.
It's all good.
So used to saying us.
And as always, it's a pleasure.
Of course. I know we've been away for a little while. We didn't do that intentionally. It's actually pretty good news. Just been really busy with 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 the company really growing this. As always, again, thanks so much for you guys to support. Keep supporting us on that. I mean, things are just really growing over here with Supplier T News as well as other things. So, again, just really appreciate that, and stick with us, and hopefully, we can keep you around as we continue to grow. So, so yeah. But for today's podcast, we want to touch upon actually a recent podcast my partner did, which is about the Chicago Public Schools and their new initiative that they're trying to implement by 2020. So Ray, I'm going to hand it
Right.
over to you, and you can go ahead and explain it, and we'll talk about it.
Okay. Thanks, Jamie. Like you said, the Chicago public school system, Mayor Rahm Emanuel, he's introduced a new proposal where the students in the Chicago public school system would have to, in order to graduate, they would have to show proof or show a plan that they have developed to continue their career after graduation, whether it be getting a job offer, going into a trade school, a community college, or a four-year university. They would have to present a plan showing that they had something set in stone to continue their career after college. Like I said, it could be a career in the trades, or it could be and going to higher education. But they had to
Or
present a
military.
plan in military. Sorry about that, military. But they had to present a plan. I'm not sure to who per se. Maybe their guidance counselor, but it'll all be figured out. The whole details are not complete yet. If it did begin the proposal goes through, the incoming freshmen of this year will be the first class who will be introduced with the new plan. So they will able to officially start once they graduate in 2020. So
Gotcha.
there was a lot of uproar due to the fact that the public school system in Chicago has faced a lot of financial difficulties. Illinois, the state budget just recently passed, and Chicago is in a ton of debt. So people were complaining about the public school system not having the full resources to implement this new proposal. Being the fact right now there's one guidance counselor to every 300 public school students as of now, right now. So, I mean, like I said, you had a lot of people outside of the city of Chicago wondering, would this be beneficial? And on my behalf, I thought it would, but I did have my, I was skeptical about it to a degree because, like I said, the Chicago public school system, they just received a loan of $387 million just to stay open this past year, where students can continue on and the school year would end in June instead of previously ending in May because they didn't have enough money to keep going.
Wow.
Like I said, the public school system took out a loan. Well, Mayor Emanuel borrowed a loan of $387 million. So with that being said, if they didn't have that money to stay open this past year, how would they prepare these guidance counselors and get these students prepared to get ready for having basically a four-year plan and having the guidance counselors who are skilled enough to go about implementing this plan at their schools? So it's like I said, it's up in the air as far as will it be passed and what all the full details behind it. I'm sure in the coming weeks there will be more information coming out about it.
Yeah, I think that's
But
key.
one
What are the full
one thing I
details of
do,
this?
I applaud Mayor Emanuel because he's trying. I would say basically to curb the violence in Chicago with new job opportunities. They just actually, me and Emmanuel just gave out a grant to 50 entrepreneurs on the south side and west side, in the amount of $5 million, and it was to go about helping the retail businesses in those neighborhoods. So he's trying to curb. I fully believe this is all to curb violence and give underrepresented minorities opportunities to better themselves and also better them along their career paths.
I mean, he's doing what
Well, like I say,
he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, right? He's looking to support the
yeah,
residents of Chicago, and it just so happens that the residents of
but
Chicago are majority. Keep going.
yeah, and the thing is, I think people are skeptical about the plan because when you think of Chicago, you think of a lot of corruptness, especially in the political field. I mean, the governors, you have a ton of governors who have been in jail. So
True.
You have people who are probably have that in the back of their mind. Okay, why are they trying to make these kids have a career plan? I mean, technically they should have a career plan.
Yeah, absolutely.
There should be already a system in place for them to have. Basically, in college, Jaymie, when we were in college, they always talked about a 4-year plan. So why not start these kids off with that idea or that initiative early to prepare them for when they go into the next career path?
Yeah, I think
they'll have. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm talking too much. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's about your city. I'd expect that, but no. I mean, I 100% agree with you. I love what this is. This is about. What I was going to say is like you said about the whole having a 4-year plan. I was just going to add that I think that this is really good because one of the things that when I was reading the article that you wrote was that some people, or in the end that you sent over was that one of the big detractors of this were people were saying, oh, they're 17 years old, they don't know what they want to do. But I do think that like this plan that they have to create will help with that, right? The reason why you force kids to think about their future is because they don't know what they want to do, right? So instead of just letting them go through high school like, man, I don't know what I want to do after this, you actually get them thinking. And I think that that's powerful, and that'll help people to, at the very least, think about a plan, right? Think about what they might do next, even if they don't have anything. They'll at least be thinking about it, which helps out a lot. But yeah, you can keep going. I just wanted to add that.
No. I mean, but let me ask you this: what do you, other than I know you say you like the plan, but what do you have any? What do you like? Do you think it can work? Would it help these kids, or what, do you think it's?
So
you have any negative thoughts about it?
Yeah, so honestly, I don't have any negative thoughts about this. So my dad, I was actually talking to my dad, and I told him about this, about how Chicago wants to implement this, and he loved it. He was like, when he was in high school, what they would do is they had it to where they had, what is it called, skills or like vocational training. So if you
Right.
decided, I don't know, junior year or whatever, I want to be, I don't know, a plumber, or I want to be, I don't know, just anything or whatever, like work with your head. I want to be a car mechanic, whatever. What they would do is instead of putting you in, different high school classes that don't mean anything, what they would do is they'd have
They
you
put you in
like,
health skill classes.
yeah, exactly. They put you in skill classes. They even put you in like classes that would also help you like how to manage my money type classes.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, when you get your, your skills or whatever, you go to your trade school and you learn your skill and then you decide to move through there, you have skills that are applicable, right? Because the issue is, and I got this from my dad, is education became a feeder system to college, but not everybody can go to college, right?
Right.
So I think that throughout,
It's not.
exactly. So I think what high school has gotten is they've lost sight of the fact that college isn't for everybody. And that's why so many people, even after their high school, they just don't really, there's nothing that they can do with what they've learned immediately from high school, because it's not preparing you to go into work. It's preparing you for college. But again, not everybody can or should go to college. And I'm not being any type of negative or insulting with that. I know one of my best friends actually two of my best friends didn't finish college, and to be 100% and are running successful businesses, and because college wasn't for them, and that's fine. We need to get out of this mindset. I mean, this is coming from a guy who went to college. We need to get out of this mindset that you got to go to college in order to be successful, because that's just not true. And I think high schools need to reflect that a lot more. So that's why I love this. Like, I don't see any downside to this, because what's going to happen is you're going to catch that guy who's got like a 3.8 or whatever, who's his sophomore year, who doesn't know what he wants to do, and you're going to catch that, because now you're going to be able to push him forward towards maybe something, whether it's working with his hands or going to college or going to the military, versus now there's no support system for him. So he might have a 3.8 and be like, you know what, I don't know what I want to do, nobody really cares about me, let me just go do my own thing. So any type of support, I mean, right, basically what this is support. Right now you've got zero support. We're transferring this to like 2% support at worst. That's more support than what we got. So I don't understand why this is wrong. Like, could this not work? Sure, it could not work, but that's no excuse to not try it.
I mean, like, damn near everything you do could not work. There's always a possibility of failure. No matter what you do, there's always a possibility of failure. But try it. Give it a shot. If it doesn't work, figure out ways to make it work. But you understand that first year, you saw your shortcomings. You understand what you need to do to improve the program. Next year, you work on those shortcomings. You improve the program, and as the years go on, keep making it better.
Exactly.
Have those kids who first came into the program, have them come back and help. And you have to, like I talked about it in my podcast, Amy, but you have to use the resources available to you and the network that's around you. So, for instance, Chance the Rapper, you can use him. If you have kids who are thinking about going into the music industry, come to Chance the Rapper. Hey, help a one-on-one session about what it takes to be involved in the music industry, what they can expect. Can we set up an internship for these young children work with you on a volunteer basis and see if they can get something from it? But you have to use the resources.
Yeah, I agree. And Chicago has a ton of resources, man. Especially when compared to like
a ton of them.
City.
And I mean, I think it can work in a lot of urban communities. This initiative, this proposal that Mayor Emanuel has right now, urban communities, rural communities, everywhere. I think it can work as long as people are dedicated to making it work.
Yeah, and that's key. They got to be dedicated to making it work.
Yeah, that's the main key. Because at the end of the day, you like the articles that we're doing nowadays in companies, their hiring processes are there. They're trying to attract millennials because they understand millennials will eventually be taking over the workforce. I mean, the market.
Yep.
Pretty soon, the market will be controlled by millennials. And why not? Let's prepare them to take over that market force. Let's get them ready. Let's make them understand that, hey, they're waiting for you. You here to go in there, handle your business, and we're trying to give them the skills to handle their business. Because, like you said, everybody's not ready for college. College is not ready for everybody. I mean, college is not meant for everybody.
Yeah.
So if you introduce them to the trades, there's tons of contracts out there where they need, in particular, minorities and women construction companies. Get them prepared for that and teach them not just to go about working for people, but like with Jaymie, he's an entrepreneur. Teach them to become entrepreneurs, owning their own business. So, I mean, I like I said, I think this is a great initiative. Just willing to see what can be improved and what are the next steps. How is this going to happen? How are we getting the guidance counselors ready and the school system ready for this new initiative? That's all I'm ready to see.
Yeah,
and I'm willing to help.
absolutely.
I mean, I know I didn't go to a public school, but I'm willing to lend a hand.
Yeah, man. I mean, and that's what this is all about. Like, what it's all about is improving the lives of Chicago residents, the future of Chicago, really. And this is
But
exactly what you need to be doing, or the city needs to be doing.
do you think this will work in Detroit?
Uh, I think it's needed in Detroit, and I think that like we just talked about it, if implemented and then if made better, absolutely it'll work in Detroit. But again,
Okay.
like we said, anything could fail if you don't put the right resources
All right.
behind it. Yeah. So I think that, but I think that to be clean honest, this is needed in every city.
True. Cool. We shall see. We shall see if any other mayors take
Yeah, man.
advantage of it.
Because like I'm just thinking about like my time in high school. Like again, I ended up going to college, but like I remember at the time I actually didn't like it because they would always like hit you up every couple of months, like, all right, what are you doing after high school? And it would get annoying. And it would get like, here we go again. I don't know. But it got me thinking, you know? And that's the key here
Mm-hmm.
is it gets you thinking. And again, you're not gonna know what you want to do for the rest of your life at 17. But
No.
it will get you thinking to at the very least take the next 2 steps or the next 4 steps after you're 18. Right? Because that's the key when you're
Mm-hmm.
17. Like it's not about what you're doing at 16. It's what are you gonna do between the ages of 18 and 20 at the very least. And if you can get thinking there,
Mm-hmm.
if you get kids thinking about the future, which is really hard, but if you can get them to think about the future, then they'll start investing in that.
Yep. Yep. I agree. Totally agree with that comment, Zach.
hmm So,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I mean that's pretty much it from us. I think this is a really good, like, short and sweet comeback to the podcast game, if you will. So, thanks, everybody for listening, and I'm pretty sure people made it to the podcast this time because it was pretty short and sweet. But appreciate you for listening. As always, like, subscribe, and comment on the video, and shoot us an email. So thanks, and have a great day.